Okay. Hey, good evening,
Yo,
everybody. What's
Cheers,
up?
everyone.
What's going on?
what is
Welcome.
good?
Welcome to episode 2 of the Whiskey 6. Thank you all for being here. What's up,
Yes.
everybody?
Not much.
Let's let's go around, just say hello to everybody before we go ahead and get going. We'll start with actually, we need to do this. We need to put our guest right there,
Yes,
top
there you
middle.
go.
There you
Sean, I
go.
took
All
your
There you go.
spot. That's not
That's
good.
fine.
Top dead center.
I'll give it back to you later.
Let's start right below me here. My lovely co-host. Say hi, Lauren.
Hello, everybody. I'm Lauren, co-host of Bourbon School.
Drinking anything tonight, Lauren?
Just the Woodford Reserve you told me to buy. That's almost gone now.
Oh, perfect. Excellent.
That works.
All right. And Sean from Whiskey Wars. What's up, Sean?
What's up, all you beautiful people? I am drinking a little bit of these bitches, store pick from New York. Thank you for the hand delivery, Ben. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's pretty tasty, got to say.
Right on. And how about Ben from the Bourbon Note? What's up, Ben?
What's happening, everybody? I should probably clarify that the Ben Sean is referencing is not me, because I don't send Old Forester single barrel strength to people at all, ever, under any circumstances.
Never.
Right.
Just keep those to myself. So
Yeah, right. Never.
Definitely.
Not a million years.
I just want to say there is somebody in the chat named the Gregors, and he has a Bourbon Note logo as his picture. I want to say he has no affiliation with the channel whatsoever. So if you start hearing anything from somebody named Greg, don't hold it against me.
Just ignore that loser, that guy. Oh, yeah.
Loser.
And how about
Here's Greg.
Bobby, Bad X Bourbon? What's up, Bobby?
Let's get it started.
There we go.
Yeah. Doing this in my nudes.
Bobby's fresh
Yeah,
off a photo shoot, and I want to hear more about that.
Dude, oh my goodness. Go follow nudes on Instagram. And what's
It's a
your
dangerous
name?
Bobby.
What's that?
Phrasing.
Phrasing.
Yeah, right.
Phrasing. Well, I'm killing this Pendleton Midnight, people. The Pendleton Midnight. Just finishing brandy barrels, 90 proof. It's tasty. Only about $30. Then I'm going to kick off something over here that Sean's going to go, what?
I'm
You're
curious.
gonna
I'm
see.
curious to see what he got from Texas.
You're going to
All
see.
right. He's going to keep us.
Hey, I didn't get from Texas. I got before I left. Right before I left California, I got it in Roseville right before we went to SAC and jetted out.
That's going to segue into a good future topic here.
Yes.
And let's say hello to our special guest this week from the Dirty RC Bar, Rick. Rick, what is going on?
What's up, Bourbon Lovers?
Mate.
How you guys?
What's up?
Thanks for having me on the show. I feel like it's been so long since I've seen you. Actually, it's only been a week. But appreciate you guys having me on. Should be a good time.
Even if it's a day, it just seems too long to not see us, Rick.
That's right.
That's right.
Lawrence,
So, Rick,
please stop. I can't handle this.
Tell us a little bit about your channel.
Pardon me, my channel?
Yeah, tell us a little bit about it.
Sure. Yeah. No, I've always been into mixing drinks and cocktails for years. Probably started way too young, and I'll leave those stories for another time.
Okay.
And anyways, I've had a bar for a long time, a little small bar. And one day, my wife said, "You know what? Your bar is like overloaded. You've got too much whiskey. You've got too many things on it. The leaves are like breaking apart." And so we went shopping for a new, kind of bar to put in the house. And we couldn't find anything. And so I just decided to build one. And I started doing some bourbon tasting with my bonus son, Austin. It's probably 2017. I had a ton of bourbon, but just drank it occasionally. And we really got into, like trying to detect the notes as if we knew anything about whiskey. We just liked the flavor. And so, one thing led to another, and one Weller led to another, and that led to another Weller. And I didn't lead to any wild turkey until I met Bobby. And
Discipline.
and that's the deal. I make a pretty good old fashioned, and I love just talking about bourbon and whiskey. And I've developed a really good palate for buys. So the Corbin cash plugs won't only come from Bobby; they come from me. Those are the worthy ride. And that's it. And my channel is pretty simple. I don't have a ton on there. I've been doing it for a little over a year. I've got about 118 followers. But I like to do, basically reviews or live stream content. One of the two. So
Okay.
educational, and I'll just share, kind of what I get from a bottle. So hopefully it saves somebody some money if they don't like it, if they don't like what I hear. Or I'll get on a live stream with Bobby or with you guys or with whomever or just solo and have a good time. So that's it.
Right on.
Cool, man.
Cool. I'll tell you, that's a really great service. Like there's been so many bottles that I will see somebody on YouTube that I've been interested in, and they'll be like, man, it tastes like this, or, it's disappointing. And it really can save you a few bucks sometimes, especially if you're listening to a YouTuber that kind of lines up with your palate. It's really nice to get that advice ahead of time before you drop 70 or 80 bucks on a bottle for sure.
Yeah, that's the hope. I remember one of the first reviews I did was on the Pappy 12 Lot B, and it was a garbage review. It's a good bottle of bourbon, but it was a garbage review. I just used all of the wrong terminology and really didn't describe it or do it any justice. But since then, I'm a little bit better, but just, call it like I see it. But thanks for having me.
Right on. Oh, of course. Welcome. We're glad to have you here. So real quick, couple of housekeeping things. Myron will be here shortly. He's going to be a little late. He has practice, so he should be here soon. So nothing has happened to Myron. And we're going to start off with a little bit of whiskey talk. So when we put our heads together last week and met and decided what we wanted to talk about, Ben, you kind of were very emphatic about this topic and definitely wanting to talk about it. And that topic is the neck pour. Is it real or is it BS? So Ben, since this was your topic you brought to the table, I'm going to let you be the guy to get us going on this one. The neck pour, guys, real or BS?
Science it up.
Okay. I think it's probably best for me to go first, just for the sole purpose of kind of like putting out there what my intentions are with this. So right off the bat, I'm not saying that having whiskey, in a bottle for X amount of time can't change it. I'm not denying that. It hasn't really been my experience, and Greg and I have done some videos. We did a video on the neck pour like 3 years ago or 2 years ago or something like that, and then we just recently did another one. So we've explored this a lot, and again, I'm not saying that you leave this much whiskey in a bottle for 2 years. Maybe it changes. I don't know. But the neck pour thing to me just seems like it's whiskey lore. People put way too much stock in it. And here's the case that I'm going to make that the neck pour is nonsense. So you have, aside from adding this much air to your bottle and that drastically changing your bourbon, you have a lot of people will comment and say, well, I tried this bottle and then I tried it again a couple weeks later and it really opened up after I had the neck pour. And it's like, okay, it's 2 weeks later. A, you're going off of your memory of what that bottle tasted like. And especially if it's the first time you ever had it. B, you're going off of, what did you eat that day? Did you get water before you tasted it? Did you brush your teeth recently? Do you have dry cotton mouth? All these different things that can kind of affect the way you taste bourbon. Like before we review bourbon, I always drink water, make sure I have a clear palate, eat some crackers if I have to, if I've eaten something recently, to kind of reset everything. So you have all these different factors going on that can affect, how you taste bourbon. And then you have taking a bottle of bourbon that's been sealed, but it's bourbon that, there's air in the barrel for the entire time it ages. And then after it's taken out of the barrel, it's put into a big vat, and the whole batch is exposed to air. And it sits there for how long? And then they bottle it. And during the bottling process, the whole time it's exposed to air. And then they seal the bottle up, and then people get the bottle, and they act as though once they open that up, they take 2 ounces of bourbon out and replace it with that much air, that's suddenly going to change the taste of the whiskey as if this has not been exposed to air before. And it's like the idea that that's what the culprit is versus all those other factors that absolutely on any day are going to change the way you experience a bourbon. Just seems like nonsense to
We
me.
can't taste all those other factors. We can only taste from neck pour to next sip.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Well, and then the other thing is like, okay, so you open up a fresh bottle, you pour out the neck pour. So you pour out 2 ounces of whiskey and you replace it with this much air. I'm just using this as an example. Okay,
Sure.
well then by that rationale, doesn't that mean that every single time you pour from that bottle, you're replacing it with more and more air? So every single sip of whiskey you should ever take should taste different than the last one. So if you open up a bottle, if you open up a bottle of Wild Turkey 101 and you drink 2 ounces of it every week, you're never going to know what Wild Turkey 101 really tastes like because you're always adding this much more air. And everybody knows that's going to drastically affect the way the whiskey tastes.
right.
It's just,
Right.
it's nonsense to me. And to be honest, like, it just doesn't seem like there's any science behind it. Because again, that whiskey has been exposed to air its entire maturation process.
Yeah.
And I just wish people would stop placing stock in this. Like, don't worry about the neck pour. It's just as good as the rest of the bottle. Now, again, if you leave it, this much in the bottle for 3 years, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
But with everything that we've done, it's grossly over exaggerated how much that affects the bottle. There's my case. I'm sticking to it.
Nice. Anybody want to jump in on this? Okay, go, Sean.
Yeah. So pretty much totally agree with Ben. But just one thing I will add is that as far as, my thoughts on the neck pour, I am usually a fan of the neck pour because that's usually the punchiest that bottle will ever be. Because, what's actually happening scientifically is every time you open the bottle, ethanol is gassing off, right? That's what's happening. You're losing ethanol. So, like, over time, if you open a bottle, say, 24 times, because there's usually 24 ounces in the bottle, you go through an ounce every time you make a pour. So every time you open that bottle, you're losing some ethanol. So by the time you're at the bottom of the bottle, it's the least punchy or proofy it's ever been. And that's usually the worst part of the bottle to me, is the bottom of the bottle. So that's all I would say as far as, but again, you're talking about vast amounts of time typically in a collection like this because we're not going through it very fast. If you are going to polish that whole bottle off in the same night, doesn't matter. It makes no difference at all.
I have a question.
Yes.
Are you talking like ethanol vapors, like that it affects the taste? Because I'm picturing that more affecting like the nosing, or does the ethanol vapors
in the same way that, a barrel proof whiskey is going to be punchier, more flavorful, bolder than a 100 proofer. So that's basically what's happening over time in any bottle is that, the more often you open it, let it sit for a while, open it again, because ethanol is the lightest gas in that bottle. So it's going to go to the top. So every time you open that bottle, that ethanol escapes out. And so a little bit is vaping off every time you open that bottle. Now, again, like if you were to do this, if you killed a bottle in a week, doesn't really apply because there's not enough time there. But if you're talking about killing a bottle over the period of a year or two, even say 6 months, then you're losing a significant amount of ethanol, which means your proof is going down over time.
Okay. All right.
So yeah, that's all I would add.
All right. Bobby, anything on this?
You're
Oh,
muted,
no.
Bobby.
Bobby, we lost you, bud.
Oh,
No sound.
muted.
I'll tap in while he's going. I think.
Yeah, go
Oh,
ahead.
he looked like he was being so passionate too.
He was, yeah.
I think Sean is onto something. I really think it's ethanol because your first drink, he said bitey, but you definitely smell the ethanol, and your scent affects your taste because your nasal passages are all connected, right? So, so I think what people are probably mistaking that neck pour is just that first burst of ethanol before they really get the full flavor of the bourbon. That's my thought.
Yeah.
2 cents.
We had
Could be.
So we had this experience with our Lauren, if you remember the Larceny Barrel Proof. We did not like it at first. It was just all heat and like not a lot of flavor. And I don't even remember I think it was maybe like a 122. It was an older one. And so we had this experience and I was like, oh, maybe there's something to the neck pour. But then like it literally sat for months. Like I didn't go back to it because I hated it so hard. And when I went back to it, it did mellow, but I do think that's not like a neck pour thing. That's just a bottle sitting for a while thing, And I think even if even if you had a bottle sit that you kept sealed and it sat on your shelf for years, now there'd be no way to prove it because you didn't open it, but I will almost guarantee you it will taste different. It will have mellowed, it will have changed from when you had bought it. If you had opened it when you bought it, it would probably be different than opening it 3 years later. Does that make sense?
To your point, Brian, absolutely. I mean, there's a whole channel centered around that very topic. I mean, Dusty Dan's.
Right.
He collects dusty bottles, and some of them have never been opened. But old whiskey just tastes different. It's just not just because the mash bills were different. I mean, just it's sitting that period of time changes the flavor of it. So, yeah.
All right, Bobby, you ready now? Nope.
He's doing sign language.
Lauren, what do
Anything
you got
from
for us?
you?
Thoughts?
Lauren, you got something on this?
Well, I think I pretty much feel the same way. I do superficially when you take the first sip and you wait a few days and you take another sip, it's going to taste a little bit different.
Wrong.
But it's not something that I think is indicative of the bottle. Like I think it's about like an initial taste versus even somewhat like a few days, it tastes a little bit different. It tastes a little bit. It's very subtle, and I think if you want to read into it, you can. Yeah. But most of the time, there isn't a huge difference between a neck pour and a regular pour.
For some reason.
Yeah. There you go, Bobby. We hear you now.
Goodness, what the heck, man? It's not going to be a complete live stream without at least one technical issue.
There you go.
Of course.
Right? I just wish it happened sooner. Well, actually, this is pretty early, actually.
Yeah, what's interesting is we did like a sound check before the show, and Bobby sounded great. So, oh, no, we've lost you again, Bobby. Not joking. I don't know what happened.
We got to bleep that one out.
Yeah, Bobby's editing himself. That's what's happening.
This is a family show, Bobby.
Nope.
We got no sound from you, Bobby. I don't know what just happened. We had you, and now we've lost you again.
Hey, quick question about Bobby.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Brian.
I want you to pantomime your whole answer.
Yeah.
We'll try to read it.
It's going to be live charades. Everybody get involved. Whoever guesses what Bobby's trying to say gets a free sample.
If all else fails, he can drive over to my house in 3 minutes, and we'll fix this. So, just be in 2 in 1 window.
That's true. He could just head over to your place.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
This is not true.
See, we can hear you now.
We can hear you now, Bobby. I don't know what you did. We can hear you.
I wish I had the Benny Hill music on here to.
Good now? Still good?
Yep.
Yeah.
We got you, Bobby.
Like the second it touches your shirt, everything goes wrong.
It's going to cut.
That's what
How
she
about that?
said.
Is that good?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep,
Still,
you're good.
Still got you.
Maybe if I don't touch it.
Don't move. Just stay completely still and just move your mouth.
I just got to talk like
T-Rex.
this.
Like
That's
it's
what
like
she
Jurassic
said.
Park.
Okay. Okay, the neck force bullshit. Did you guys hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Okay. So here we go. No more neck pour.
There you go. Got rid of it.
Used to be that easy. Neck pour,
Yeah.
you got it's full of crap. But we know what they're really talking about. You guys kind of nailed it. It's just the more you drink, the more oxygen is in the bottle. The more times you open it, the more ethanol you release. That's it, people. That's it. And the longer you let it sit with the more oxygen in it, it's just going to taste a little different. That's all. Over time.
Yeah.
Let it sit for years.
No, there's 6
And I feel like they treat the neck pour like some crazy mysterious thing. It's like, it's just air getting in the bottle. That's it.
Yeah.
There's no magic.
The more you drink, the more air is going to get in. And the more ethanol is going to escape.
Right. All right. Anybody else on the neck pour before we move on?
I have a couple of questions.
Yes.
Yeah. So, Sean, with your hypothesis here, are you saying that? So you're losing proof, right? So are you saying that if I open up a bottle of OGD 114 and then I let it sit and I drink it down and let it sit, with an inch of it left for a year, it's going to be like OGD 112, like it's going to actually lose proof? Are you just talking about the like, you know, Rick had kind of alluded to, you know, the vapors on the nose certainly can affect the taste of the whiskey. And that's why like a Glencairn is different than, you know, sipping out of a rocks glass or something like that. But are you contending that it will actually physically lose proof?
Yes. Now, again.
Really? Okay, we're going to have to.
Now, there's actually some great videos on YouTube about it. But again, these are under very specific conditions. This is not like, you know, not in a week's time. You need a significant amount of time here. We're not talking about a week. Even a month probably wouldn't be enough to have a significant change. And again, too, you need a lot of headspace for that ethanol to rise. You know, so just the neck pour would not be enough to the point of our topic here. You know, because there's just not enough headspace for enough ethanol to kind of congregate in that area to then escape. Like, you know, you need significant air exchange, you know, so... But yes, I mean, you can literally lose proof points over time. But again, you need a long amount of time and a lot of headspace. That's what has to happen in order for that. You know. So again, we're talking about, like, this is a perfect example. This my JTS Brown. There's no way this is still 100 proof. I've had this bottle for like 2 years, and it's way down there. So like, if you tested this bottle, like the actual proof point, because you know it's not actually 100 proof. I think the TTB allows it to be under or over 6. Something like 6 proof. Okay. So this probably has lost somewhere in the range of 5 to 10 proof points, you know, in the amount of time I've had this. But I've had this bottle like 2 years, so, you know.
Second question.
Go ahead, Ben.
Has anybody done an experiment with a single barrel of, because Greg and I did this. We took and it was actually this bad boy right here. Yeah, this is on Bottle Kill Hill, so copyright Bad Axe Bourbon. We actually did, Friday at Fred's. I had mine drink down to here, and Greg opened his new. And Greg said that he thought that maybe he noticed a tiny, and this had been for a few months, that had been sitting, you know, maybe it was like here when we did that video or something. You know, maybe, I can't remember exactly, but it was down pretty low. And then Greg opened his up, and Greg said that he thought he maybe noticed a little bit. Greg's unreliable at his best, so I wouldn't place too much stuff. I'm just kidding. He didn't get the name world-renowned bourbon reviewer and internet sensation Greg Welch without being on point. So I trust what Greg says. But he said not enough that he could pick it out, you know.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you guys did that blind, correct? That video?
I can't remember. No, I don't think we did, actually.
No? Okay. I guess my memory.
No, I think we did it. We didn't do it blind because we just put it up and we wanted to see, like, is there a fall off from one to the other. We also did Jack Daniel's 10-year batch too, and Greg had like this much out of his bottle, basically a neck pour that we'd just done a review for months, and then I cracked mine open and there was absolutely no difference whatsoever. Yeah. I consider that settled science. Boom. What up, Myron?
What's up, buddy? Good to see you,
man. Myron's fresh cracking something.
Settled
science.
I like that.
I got it today, Penelope Rio.
The Pinot.
Oh, nice.
Rio? Yo! Right.
Coveted
I gotta give a shout out to Brad. I was kind of caught up at work doing some things, and these are no longer on the allocated list, I guess, for the ABC. So they just have them on the shelves now. And
nice.
He picked up a couple bottles and looked out for me.
Nice.
Also, cheers, Brad. Good to see you, buddy.
I'll have some Amberana with you tonight. I got my RD1.
Oh yeah, I had some of that at that bourbon meetup, man. That's pretty good.
It is. It is very good. It is very good. I like this one a lot. So Myron, while we're wrapping up the first topic here, you got anything on the neck pour? Bullshit, real deal? What do you think?
You know what, man? I'm kind of on the fence about it because I have had bottles that, you know, you pour them out in the neck and it's kind of like, oh man, that was bad. Then you go back to it after a little while. It's like, okay, that's good. But you know, Ben made a good point the last time we were all on. He said, if that was the case, then you should essentially be drinking a different bourbon every time you open a bottle and close the bottle. Yeah. So that kind of swayed me a little bit, you know.
Okay.
So I'm still on the fence about it, but I do think that sometimes you get it out of that neck, man, and it changes.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Cool. All right. Last call on the neck pour. Everybody good? You got it all out? You said what you wanted to say.
We just. Hey, I checked my mic volume here real quick. Excuse me for just a second. I'm going to go around and drop the gain on my mic for just a second. So I'll be right back.
Can you all still hear me? Just checking.
Yep, we can.
Yes.
Yep, we got you, Bobby. Loud and clear.
Bobby.
All right. So next, the other thing that we thought would be fun to chat about is a barrel pick. So now we're obviously we're looking down the road, but if this is something that we get the opportunity to do, if we could do, let's say, a whiskey 6 barrel pick, who would you want to do it with? And chat, you can give us all kinds of suggestions about who you think we should do a barrel
everybody
pick with.
grab the bottle that you think that we should do a pick.
All right.
Yes, Sean.
Corbin Cash.
Here you go.
Everybody in chat, just type in your answers now for the bottle that you think that we should.
We need chat to respond on this.
Heck
So
yeah.
we can talk about this at the end again. Here we go.
So I feel like Sean and Bobby are pretty much settled on this one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think not to speak for Bobby, but so Bobby has a very good relationship with David. Bobby like literally is on first name basis. They text each other. I'm not quite that close with David, but I will say I had David on the channel. Thought he was absolutely amazing. Just a great guy, down to earth. Just really my kind of people. And on top of that, they make an absolutely great product that I 100% think is. I mean, my personal take is this is the best rye on the market. Period.
All right.
That's
all right.
So, and not just is it the best rye, but one of the best whiskeys I own. Period. I absolutely love it, and yeah.
All right. So, Sean and Bobby, you are 100% Corbin Cash.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Rick, thoughts?
I'm Corbin
Barrel
Cash or
pick.
Weller Foolproof. So if we're gonna go rye, let's go Corbin Cash.
Okay.
Otherwise, do a Weller Foolproof. And
all
see what we
right,
can come up
interesting.
on the bourbon side.
All right, Ben, you got any thoughts on this one?
I think I would love to do something wild turkey just because I'm such a fanboy. But even like
There's my number 2.
a Knob Creek pick would be amazing. I'd love to do that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
by
Russell's,
the way,
Russell's single barrel would be good.
Yeah, for sure. I apologize. My mic actually was too hot, so I have 2 different saved settings on my camera. One's for live streaming, one's for recording videos. And when I shut the camera off for our live stream, it defaulted back to the video recording one, which the gain is up
You sound great.
double what it's supposed to be. So yeah, now it'll sound much better. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So I would say Knob Creek or Wild Turkey would be a lot of fun.
All right.
I think the only other distillery I would like to throw in is I'd love to do a Still Austin pick. I think that would be amazing.
For sure.
Yeah.
Home
That'd
run.
be cool.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll be there
I think it's
about 2 weeks. I'll be there.
Myron. You got one?
Well,
Oh, you're
Okay. Myron's going to pick that one by himself.
Just put the knife right in my heart.
Actually, since I know you guys aren't big fans,
but no,
because
he's got
this was
Green
one of the
River.
first bottles that popped in my mind. But since I know you guys aren't big fans, Green River, I think would probably make an amazing pick. I've never had their single barrel, but I swear, man, they're just regular offerings to me are just great.
Yep. Well, I'll tell you what, I just grabbed one. We have one store in Western New York that has a single barrel, and it is absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely
Never seen one.
phenomenal.
Yes.
That's the first time I've even seen one.
119 proof. It is hot, but it is
Oh, wow.
delicious. I like the Green River, like the standard Green River.
Yeah.
The Green River wheated is a little sweet for me, but it's good. This is absolutely phenomenal. I love this
I
one.
can
So I
believe
would
you.
definitely be down for that. Yeah.
You said 118 proof?
100. It's 119 proof. Yep.
Hey, that's a
And
great idea too.
That's my first choice right there.
Oh, I forget. Oh, how did I forget?
Yep. We don't get many of these around here. I would love to get a hold of some, although we do have a 100 proof pick coming out in the next couple of weeks from a store up by Buffalo. So we're pretty excited to get a hold of that one. But yeah, I Old Forester, I would go Green River though. That pick is phenomenal. Phenomenal. Yeah, for sure.
I can't wait to get a hold of one.
Yeah. Well,
A single barrel.
I can.
I've never even seen one until just now.
Yeah, we can arrange a hand delivery if anybody wants one. I mean, he's got a ton of them, so anybody who wants one.
Yeah, let's talk.
Yeah,
Hello.
absolutely.
Hello.
Lauren, you got one in mind?
I mean, this is very basic, but I think Jack Daniels really.
Oh, sorry.
Like the single barrel proof?
I almost discussed
Hell yeah!
That was an accident, but I think it actually fit with the Jack Daniels reference.
Funny enough, that was going to be me and Bob. That was going to be me and Bobby's team name on Dusty Man's
Yeah,
show.
it was.
America, fuck yeah!
I think they do a damn good job, and they do an underrated job.
I agree, Lauren. I actually meant to give you the applause sound effects for that one. I mean, I went with the America,
Sure.
Yeah.
But I mean,
single barrel proof.
I really do think like Jack Daniels does an underrated job, and that people have this like stereotype that is old number 7, and that's not necessarily what you're gonna get.
Yeah, single barrel select or single barrel proof. They're good.
Yeah, I'd be very happy to do one of these picks.
I would too.
Oh hell yeah!
It's just not for the first one.
And the tour, like if you go and you go, I can't help it. The tour was so fantastic, and they're so knowledgeable and lovingly like picking everything and like sampling everything. They know the history. They know everything. When you go, like I can't help feel like you could do a barrel pick and not be unsatisfied.
You know, should this group ever do a Jack Daniels pick, I think we already have our tater sticker name, thanks to Ben's slip up on the button.
Here we go.
Just all of us in like
I like it.
And just a picture of all of us in like American gladiators, like leotards and stuff. Like mullets and everything.
Hell yeah.
That would be awesome. Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, I think those are all good picks. You know, it's funny. The Jack Daniels Barrel Proof, I have never seen a pick anywhere. There's a store up south of Buffalo that I firmly believe has the best picks in this area. And the last time I talked to them, they were on a waiting list for a barrel proof pick for like 2 or 3 years. So it's, and I don't know if that correlates to like you're down the list if you don't buy as much or whatever, but yeah. I love that. They make excellent picks. I would love for them to get a Jack Daniels barrel proof pick. That would be great.
Do a Coy Hill barrel pick. That'd be amazing.
Holy cow, yeah.
Right, yeah.
All right, awesome. Well, I think those are all great ones, and we're gonna have to do.
Oh yeah, Wyoming whiskey. Heck yeah. Is that the Outrider, Bobby? Did you get one?
That's what I was talking about, Sean. I
just
picked up before we took off to Texas and Roseville. The Outrider. I've never tasted it. I'm tasting it right now.
I'm curious. That label looks maybe different than mine. It's hard to tell.
Hey, Bobby, did you get that from Eli?
I guess it's the same.
Yeah. Got from Eli. It's green.
It looks shinier than mine. Mine doesn't look as shiny.
Yeah, yours looks a little lighter, maybe. I mean, they're both green though.
Is yours 100 proof? I'm just curious if they changed anything.
It is 100 proof.
Okay, I guess the same stuff. After I finish my Corbin Cash, I'll have to have some of that.
It's a good bottle. That's like a Nancy invention, right?
Yeah, I've never seen. I've only seen it one time at that store, and I went back to it before we went to Texas. Actually, I bought another bottle of Batch 188, Joseph Max Cigar Blend. That's why I went there.
Nice.
Yeah. What's Batch 188 again?
Come on, man.
I think we need some axe action, Bobby.
Oh man!
Be careful with your mic.
Oh man!
Bad axe.
No, my mic probably won't work now. But
that's all right. You just have to go back to pantomiming. So, all right. So, excellent. So now let's move into a little, maybe, you know, we advertise whiskey and whatever. So let's talk about something maybe that's not just only whiskey related. And this was another one. Actually, Ben, you were the star this week. You came up with the topics, brother.
Mhm.
This was Getting to Know Your Whiskey Tubers Deep Tracks.
I can't
And
wait.
that is
I can't wait.
Yeah,
So
you guys
this
better
is-
come with the juicy stories.
So Ben, do you want to explain kind of what your intent was here when you came up with this topic?
Sure. Two things real quick on the side. Somebody had put in the chat, G Poppins Patio, y'all should try Rebel Cast Strength. Rebel Cast Strength is fantastic. The single barrel.
Phenomenal.
And also, I don't know who are mods in the chat, but if there's any mods that could throw some links for other channels. We weren't great about that last time, calling out other channels that are in the chat. So anyway,
I just got in there. I saw Beach Sand Bourbon in there. I think he was putting up some.
I
some
modded a bunch of people at the beginning because we didn't do that last week, so we got some people.
Sweet. Okay.
For sure.
Yeah, I subscribed to Beach Sand Bourbon after our last live stream, so that's cool.
Yeah, Michael.
Michael. Okay. So anyway, my intent with this was just kind of like, we talked about wanting to like talk about some other stuff besides whiskey, but maybe do kind of like a getting to know your bourbon channel where maybe like just tell us something about yourself that has nothing to do with your channel. Just like maybe it's something funny or something interesting or, just a funny story or just something that, people don't know about you just as a person.
Okay. Well, I'm going last. I'm not going first here. So who wants to volunteer?
I'll go
sounds
first.
like Lauren was very excited, but with excited as she was, maybe we shouldn't have her go first because then we'll all just be boring after that.
That's awesome.
Mine was
Demonetized.
Yeah, that was to your point there, Brian. That's the thing. I was trying to figure out like a good balance of juicy story without getting us canceled. So
Yeah,
Right.
I had to cancel a lot of my stories.
All right. You can tell those backstage when we're done.
yeah.
Yeah. All right, so who's going first?
All right, I'm going to go first.
Okay.
Okay, let's hear it,
All
Lauren.
right. Guys,
Oh boy.
I have no wisdom teeth. I was born with no wisdom teeth.
Oh, okay.
Really?
I don't have any.
Like you never had
one
them?
with them.
That's very rare, right?
It is very rare. The dentist said you're highly evolved. I said, what?
You said bullshit.
I gotta say, Lauren, I wish I had been born with no wisdom teeth because they've been a pain in the ass my whole life.
Yeah.
For real.
No wisdom teeth. I have none.
So like they're
I've
not
been
even like
surgery free my whole adult life.
they're not like up there somewhere. They're just
There's
nothing.
nothing there.
Interesting.
I'm a highly evolved human because we don't need wisdom teeth. So
That's fact.
as the generations go on, I'm passing my generations down
There
with
you go.
no wisdom teeth.
You're
involved.
Lauren is ahead of the evolutionary curve.
So
practically one
eventually,
of the
will we
X-Men.
just evolve to where we have no teeth? Like, what's the situation?
We're big
We
herbivores.
don't we don't need our wisdom teeth.
No, I know. I'm just giving you a hard time.
So I'm special, guys.
You are.
We already knew. We
Well,
already
you-
knew that. It wasn't because no wisdom teeth.
You are special and
Lauren's
you don't
already
have
special.
wisdom
Lauren's
teeth.
special.
All I got as far as physical stuff is this is as straight as my pinky gets. It's been that way.
Wow. Did you break it or something?
Apparently in the womb because it's been like that since I was a baby. Like it's just
Okay.
like I got this
Really?
crooked pinky finger. That's his. Yeah.
I feel like we're on that scene from Jaws when they're in the boat showing off their scars.
Yeah. But that's not my
Gross
story though. Just for
Okay.
The U.S.
All right.
Indianapolis can't play in yet. It's too
Nope.
soon.
Nope. Too soon. Wow. I respect that you knew the Jaws reference and built upon it. That was great.
Yeah.
That was baller as shit, Lauren.
Come on.
She's highly evolved.
Yes, that's true. That's true. How about our guest, Rick? You got something for us?
Goodness. This was tough because I was thinking about it and I shared one with you guys that's not going live.
Okay.
Like Lauren, I had to filter out and sift through a lot of material that's incriminating. But yeah, I think just to getting to know me, I growing up, I was always on driving something or riding something. Whether it was a motorcycle, 3-wheeler. As soon as I was old enough to wrench with my stepdad and was building engines and cars, and he was a race car driver. And my first day to get my license, I got my license and I drove back to my house at over 110 miles an hour in Texas. Sheriff pulls me over. I'm like quivering. I was so excited to get my license, and the sheriff like saw the fear in my eyes, followed me all the way home, and like let me walk in. He just told me, just tell your mother and father what you've done, and I'll let you off. But I was like,
I'm sure you did right away.
Oh no, I didn't. In fact, if mom's watching right now, she's hearing for the first time. So yeah, and then another extension to that story, not far after that, she had a 92 Z28 Camaro. And I remember it was her prized possession. It was the 25th anniversary. She had a 67 when she was growing up. And so I can't remember what the event was, but she let me borrow it. And so I got a couple of my friends together, and this industrial park where my stepdad had the race cars was like a driveway, like a big U. And so one guy had like a VHS camera out there, and I'm drifting at like 60 miles an hour all the way around the U. And I thought I got away with it. We had a great time that night doing burnouts and all sorts of stupid things. And then my mom was washing the car, and she noticed all the rubber that was caked inside the wheel well. I didn't check that. And so I got busted and had to buy her tires. So, then I had a daughter later in life and hung up my Go Fast keys and got into Jeeps and started to go slow and just enjoy, the weather in California. And
the girls will do that to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they will.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
So, motorsports.
All right. Next up is gonna be Bobby.
Okay, all right. So I got a couple. I don't normally tell people. Rick might know. I might have told Rick these things, but they don't normally come up. It's been so long. So back in the '90s, in my Air Force days, I actually had. I can't. You guys know I'm a Raider fan, so you can't. I can't pick teams. I had a tryout with the Denver Broncos with punting and kicking, so I did that.
Wow,
So
that's
then
awesome.
Also, I have 2 black belts: American Taekwondo and Korean Taekwondo.
Holy
I used to
shit!
teach Taekwondo. I actually, and while I was in the Air Force in Denver, I registered at a championship tournament. The fastest knockout ever recorded at that tournament. Not on me. I did it to somebody else.
That's
it. That's really it. That's like the cool stuff, I guess. That's it.
Wow.
Good stuff, man.
That's amazing.
Today I learned that Bobby is a combination of Jason Elam and Mr. Miyagi. That's awesome.
Yeah. At least you didn't say Ralph Macchio.
Bobby's a stone
I'll
cold.
take Mr. Miyagi. I'll take Miyagi over Macchio.
And he got knocked out faster than anybody else ever in the history of martial arts. Right? That's what you said.
That's what you got out of that, Brian. That's it. It was 27 seconds. That was it.
Wow. Holy cow.
Heck yeah, man.
Cool.
That's
Good for you,
some,
man. That's
that's
really
A little
cool.
side note: this guy was talking shit to me right before when we walked in the door. Didn't know we were gonna meet head to head for the very final Grand Master fight. He was talking about, hey, I used to take Taekwondo. What do you do? I take Taekwondo. He goes, what martial art? Okay, little story. Okay, see, he says, we're just kind of walking together. He says, so what art do you study? I said, oh, Taekwondo. And he said, he proceeds to say, oh, I used to take Taekwondo, but now I do something much better. Yeah, Taekwondo is very basic. I'm like, well, to make the story super short, I guess I basically whipped your ass at the end of the the tournament.
So Bobby, I have to ask, man, what was the move you used or kick punch that you used for the knockout?
Okay, so in Taekwondo, when you're fighting these tournaments, you do a lot of these faking, and you can't see it, but you do a lot of these fakes right here to kind of set other stuff up. So I was doing that. I did that. Did a fake because he thought I was going to do that to come into another fake or another punch. So I faked that. Then I faked the punch. He went down for it. I did a jump spin hook kick with my heel across his temple, and a lot of blood went flying. And then I stood over him really nicely. I said, dude, you got blood on my gi.
You should have been like, you should have
Bobby
studied
just stole a line from Goodfellas.
Yeah, I did. Dude, you got blood on. What are you doing, dude? Okay. Your superior martial art just lost to your basic martial art.
Wow. That's
So,
amazing.
I feel like Bobby told this story just so I won't talk smack about Wild Turkey anymore. Like I feel like he just kind of set it up, right? Don't come to my
I'm
house.
not talking shit about Bobby. He's gonna spin kick me when he meets me. Holy cow. That's awesome. All right.
That was a long time ago. A long time ago. It was in the 90s, guys.
How about Myron?
Well, Bobby kind of stole my thunder because I was going to go into my sports story too. So a lot of guys see me, I'm 6'3", 240. They automatically think I'm a guy who watches football. I watch no football. I watch football. We cut the cord a while ago, so I really don't watch football at all anyway. But when I did watch it, it was mainly just to sit down on the couch with a beer. But I did box for a time, and I was riding high because I was doing pretty good. And I decided to drop a weight class. And I had saw a guy who I knew I was going to fight that day. And I dropped down to 175. When I was boxing, I was 185. So I dropped down to 175.
Oh my God, you were slim. You were so slim.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was
That's
because I
slim.
was jogging every day, coming back, going into the gym, boxing, hitting the heavy bag, hitting the pads. And like I said, I was riding high because I was doing great. And I felt like with my strength at a lower weight, I'd probably be great. And I watched this one guy who I knew I had a fight with that day. I had watched him over the course of the last year. And I was like, this is going to be easy. And my wife, she was my girlfriend at the time. she's my wife now. My wife was there, and the dude swung a haymaker, hit me in the back of the ear. And I just remember going down and then getting back up. And then I put my guards back up, and then I go to fight the dude again, and then he swings another haymaker, and I was not fast enough to duck. He hit me behind the ear again, and then the ref called it. The ref, even though I got back up, when I looked at the videotape, my legs were noodles, and that was a blow. That was a blow.
Holy shit!
Hey,
wow.
Yeah, after that story I just told, I'm not going to say that shit has never happened to me. I just happen to have a good day.
Well, I'm not gonna shit on some basic taekwondo with boxing.
No. This was all before UFC or mixed martial arts, man. I would have loved to do that crap. I wish I would have learned jujitsu, man. I wish I would. Jujitsu is incredible. I wish I knew jujitsu.
The name of that boxer that got Myron? Rocky Balboa. At least you lost to the best, brother. You lost to the best. Ben, what do you got?
Dude, I don't even know what to say at this point. Like, Myron's talking about boxing and dropping this weight and jogging and working out and getting fit, and Bobby's knocking people out. Okay, I'm just going to say mine. I got bit by a muskrat once and had to get rabies shots.
Dude, I love it.
I thought this was going to be a good story, and it turns out it just,
It is. It's 100% a good story.
I mean, it's my favorite of the night so far, man.
Yeah, it's my favorite.
It gets better. It gets better.
Okay, yeah, let's get the whole bill. Weave us a web, Ben. Weave us a web.
Now we got to lead up to it.
Okay. So I'm going to go Tarantino style. I'm going to tell you the story, but then I'm going to go back at the end and bring you guys all up to speed.
Okay.
So here's how this went down. Alcohol may have played a role in this whole situation. I meant to get a picture that I could share. But so anyway, one night we were over at my friend's dad's house, and his uncles were in town, and they're from just outside of Omaha. And interestingly enough, I didn't know this until I met them, but people that live in Omaha can have a thick Southern accent, and these guys were total rednecks, right?
It's a pencil.
So one of them, what's that?
You don't expect people who aren't from the South to have a Southern accent, but they do.
Right. Yeah,
for sure.
And so anyway, I'm telling this because I feel like it does kind of lead into the story, and I'll try to make this quick. So anyway, one of them, we were drinking, And one of them starts telling me about how he's got this way that he is able to catch bats for some odd reason.
Why?
And so what you do is you
bats.
I don't know. I don't know why these guys would do this, but I was drunk, so I was like, yeah, let's catch some bats. And so what you do is you take a sock, like a small like ankle sock, and you fill it up with like rocks or gravel or something like that. Okay. Tie it shut. And when it's dark out, if you just throw it in the air, you'll see bats swooping down out of nowhere because they think it's, some sort of prey. And I was like, bullshit. And we go out to the backyard. He throws it up there maybe 2 or 3 times, and all of a sudden, boom, there's bats coming down. Mm-hmm. And then so now I'm like, okay, well, what are we going to do if we catch one of these bats?
Right,
and
you're not going to
no
eat
kidding. Well, that's what I'm getting at. No kidding. Without skipping a beat. I was like, what are we going to do if we catch one? He just turns around and he goes, we going to eat it. And I was like, we ain't eating shit. You can eat whatever you want. Anyway, I only said that because I feel like this is kind of karma, because about 3 hours later, after trying to catch bats, we get back to my house, and me and some friends are sitting in my garage. I look down the driveway, and I can see my dog messing around with something. And my friend's minivan was parked down there, and I saw a little critter run underneath the van.
Critter.
And I saw my dog go after it. So I went down there to go get my dog because I don't want her getting into a fight with whatever the hell this thing was. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I didn't want her getting bit. So I went down there, and I figured the thing had taken off. So I went down there to go get my dog, and I'm standing there, and my foot is right next to the front tire of the van, and I was wearing flip-flops. And all of a sudden, this muskrat just jumps out from behind the tire and just latches onto my foot. So I shake the thing off, kick it away, go back up to the garage. My foot's bleeding profusely. Here's the Tarantino part. This is where we got to go back. This was on Saturday. This is where you got to go back to the Wednesday of that previous week. I got attacked by a dog. So 2 animal attacks in the same week. Wow. And when I got attacked by the dog, I was actually at work when it happened, so I had to go into the emergency room and do all the stuff because it was a company injury technically. Damn. And so when I was in there, the doctor told me we can't let you go until we get a hold of the owner and make sure that the dog has all of its vaccinations to make sure it doesn't have rabies. And he said, because the last thing you want is rabies because it's 100% fatal and there's no cure for it. So now 4 days later, 4 days later, I just got bit by a wild animal, and all I can hear in my head is 100% fatal, no cure for it.
I'm gonna die.
Okay, the same thing happened to me. My mom, the raccoon in my mom's,
muskrat.
It was rabbit. It was like wandering in my mom's front lawn. And she's like, you got to get that. Like, go get it. And I'm like, okay, well, fine. I thought it was dead. And I went out to get like a shovel to shovel it. And it was alive. And it bit my ankle. And I had to go and get like a shot and everything. But I thought I was doing a service to this animal because it was going to die anyway.
You're going to show it mercy.
Yeah, I was showing it mercy by just hitting it over the head with. I mean, it was out in daylight. Like raccoons are not out in daylight.
No, that's a bad sign.
No, so you go out, you hit them over the head with the shovel. You're good. My sisters were spared all of these things. We grew up in the suburbs. And I got all the country life shit.
So to finish this story off, I go in that night. Luckily, one of my friends was the sober cab that night, so I had a ride. So I had to go into the ER, tell him what happened. And then, so I actually had to get the whole series of rabies shots, which you used to hear horror stories about that. So what they did is, I had 2 puncture wounds on the top of my foot where its teeth went in. They put 7 injections directly into each puncture wound. Yeah, so there's already an open wound. They had to stick a needle into each open wound 7 individual times, and then they filled it up with this. This is what I got. And then I got 3 shots in one arm and then 4 shots in the other arm, all that night. And then I had to go in for the next 3 weeks, once a week, to get 3 more shots.
Holy
And
shit.
all those vaccinations,
I did
just
have to have
the
multiple.
actual medication, cost $7,000.
Man,
Luckily, I was insured, so I only had to pay 10% of that, but it still cost me $700. But that vial of medication was $7,000.
Okay, well, this
So anyway,
is our
that's-
hillbilly.
I love Emenecker's
Hillbilly
question. What
Ellen.
year was this? Like this was back in the 20s.
This
got a question,
happened. This
too.
was 2013.
Yeah.
Incidentally, my brother back in the
long ago.
80s, my brother back in the 80s actually had to get rabies shots from also getting bit by a muskrat. No bullshit.
Yo, geez, dude.
There's
Hey,
an
Ben, I got
epidemic in Minnesota, apparently.
one question, Ben.
Yeah.
I got one
Yeah.
question, Ben.
Crazy.
Did you live?
I did, just barely.
This is the ghost of Ben that we're talking to.
That's right. That's right.
That's a hell
By
of
the
a
way, when
story.
this was all said and done, it dawned on me that my dog had its rabies vaccination, so I really didn't need to protect her from anything.
Maybe that's why animals hate you, Ben.
Yeah, so 2 animal attacks in the same week.
Holy cow.
John-
they call,
John
like, I always
Trans-
call Australia an island of monsters because of all the freaking crazy animals and insects they have there. But now there's no way I'm going to Minnesota with the muskrat epidemic they're having there. Just wild muskrats everywhere.
We've lost Lauren. Also, it seems like dogs just randomly attack you as well in Minnesota.
Yeah,
So,
right?
Yeah.
It's like
Hey,
Mad
did-
Max in Minnesota.
Did you guys see the comments from John Kranz? He said Bobby will protect us from Chuck Norris.
That's
Yes.
right.
Did you see that?
And Mark Emmeter said, "Did it bite you on the nipple bit?"
Hey, Meyer, did you see my
Just the
response to
foot.
John Kranz?
No.
I said, hey, last time I went out to have dinner, the waiter left me a tip.
Yeah, Ben, did you do a fun run to eradicate muskrat rabies?
Yeah, I did, and I ate an entire pan of Alfredo beforehand.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
That's what
I
she
feel
said.
I feel like Lauren and I misunderstood the assignment, like, because mine's about a handicap too. So maybe from now on we should make videos just with helmets on. Because
I don't have a spleen because I got hit by a truck one time.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah, no, I was interpreting it as minor. But
Mine is-
I can go major.
I feel like my story too is maybe a bit too much considering the other stories that have been told.
Well, let's go.
Let's hear it.
So
I
let
got
me
some-
do this.
I got some-
Let me do
some
let me
ones.
do mine, and then we'll finish with yours, Sean, because yours is definitely more exciting than mine. Mine is very simple. The
Exciting.
fact you don't know about me, much like Fox Mulder from the X-Files, I am lousy colorblind, and
Oh,
it
I
is a
remember that.
nightmare. It's an
You
absolute
know
nightmare.
the color of his wife's eyes.
So yes, I
How
do.
sad
They're
is
like
that?
hazelish.
A shade.
But
they're definitely a color.
so since like 8th grade, when I took the color test, like you guys remember taking the color test with like the circles with all the dots,
Yep.
and it would have a number in it.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Literally every single one, they'd be like, "What number do you see?" I'm like, "Nothing, nothing, nothing." Like not one of them would I see a color. And then when I was like 13, when they finally did this, and they were like, "Oh, you're colorblind." My sisters, and still I'm 49 years old, so we're talking about 36 years here. My sister, my one sister Beth, especially, whenever we're around, we'll just start pointing at shit and being like, what color is this? What color is this? And when I get it wrong, she's like, bah! She thinks it's my disability is the funniest thing to her.
No, he messes
I think that's
up.
what
He
siblings
really
are
does
for,
mess
yeah.
stuff up all the time.
So Lauren and I will start wearing helmets for our videos because we're team handicapped.
Hey, Brian, there was actually one time I saw a fantastic T-shirt, and it said, so
Ask the
speaking, you know what I'm
colorblind.
talking.
Yep.
No, it wasn't even that one. It
Oh.
wasn't that one. It was just like those little charts that you were talking about that have the dots. So it said I, and then it had a heart, the colorblind, but the heart was one of those tests, and it said secretly loathe inside. So only people who weren't colorblind could read that.
So I've
That's
seen
funny.
one that's just the color test and it says FUCK, the colorblind, and I can't
Yeah.
read it because I can't see it.
That's awesome, actually.
But yeah, all right, Sean, I'm giving you the spotlight, brother.
Okay, fair enough. So I guess I too am handicapped, but in a very different way. My handicap is I don't understand social norms or laws or really anything that makes society run good.
He's an asshole, sir.
Yeah. I was a server for 8 years, and if you know me and all, you know that that's not a good job for me to have. Because someone just said I am an asshole. I own it. Because of that, I wasn't a good server, and so I was always pissed off because I hate dealing with people. So my second serving job was at Chili's, which it's awful. It's still awful. It's as awful as it's ever been, but it was awful back then too.
Yeah, but the Southwest egg rolls are delicious.
Yeah, that's true. And their boneless buffalo wings used to be great. Now they're dog food basically. But anyway, so to deal with that, me and several other of my fellow servers started drinking on the job. Well, that quickly got noticed because, if you've worked in a restaurant, that you know that they keep close tabs on how much alcohol is being used and how much waste is, because they know how much money they're taking in, so they know how much is being wasted and all that kind of stuff.
That's the money maker.
So eventually they catch on to you, drinking for free, and so then they put up cameras, so we couldn't do that. So I thought to myself, because I thought, because I have a past that most of you know about, but anyway, I thought, well, there's a need here, so let me be an entrepreneur and fill this need. So what I started doing is I just started asking everybody for their drink orders the night before, and I would go to the ABC that was down the street and buy minis for all of us, so we could keep drinking on our shifts. And I started making money for this because people were very happily paying me more than I was paying for the minis. So it became like a side hustle. The problem is this went on for about 6 months without any kind of really nobody noticed because we had been trashed on the job for so long that it was just kind of like the norm. But then my dumbass decided, well, I'm just going to start making mixed drinks because I kind of have always hated shooting liquor straight outside of whiskey. So I thought, well, I'll just start mixing vodka with lemonade. So that's what I'd do. But I'd go in the bathroom and just pour my vodka minis into some lemonade and then just sip on that throughout the shifts just to keep a steady buzz going. Well, eventually the managers noticed that I was going into the bathroom quite often. And that's what got me busted. Then they figured out everything that had been going on. They figured out other people that were involved, and they started pulling cameras. And they actually almost decided to call the cops once they found out everything was going on. But anyway, I ended up just losing my job. So so I was like running like a bootlegging thing at Chili's there for a while. So that's a fun story about myself.
You're like the beer baron of Chili's.
Yeah,
I like the entrepreneurial spirit that you're running with on that one.
That's what I was going to say.
Rick, off camera or backstage, I'll have to tell you about my past life, and then it'll all make sense.
Somebody else here had a great entrepreneurial story related to that last week in our private stream. I won't say who it was, but it was a pretty genius idea. Ben. All right, awesome. Yeah, you're getting all kinds of requests. You're getting all kinds of requests from dissatisfied customers here, Sean. Like, excuse me, can I get more napkins?
Oh yeah, and I would just always forget to get the napkins. Like the other thing is, I've always had a terrible
get a refill.
I've always had a terrible memory, so I would just forget stuff, and then they'd be pissed off. I was a terrible server. I will fully admit.
I was going to ask Sean, how many times did you mess up orders?
I got pretty good. One second. I got pretty good at that. Because I would just write it down. I got pretty good at shorthand, so I would just write down real quick. But as far as people, like refills or napkins or they needed a sauce or something, I would totally forget that stuff unless I wrote it down. So yeah, it was a disaster.
I can't trust a waiter who won't write it down. I need it written down.
I agree.
It makes me nervous.
We've gotten to that point too.
Yep. We were like,
Sean, if you had been a server in Minnesota, it wouldn't be, can I get more napkins? It would be, can I get some ranch with this?
Yeah.
That's
a huge thing.
It better not be ranch with your wings, or I would kick you out of the restaurant.
I don't know what it is about.
Absolutely.
I don't know what it is about the north central area of this country, but everybody up there loves ranch. I don't understand it, but there's a lot of ranch
Ride
lovers up there.
or die.
I'm going to tell you right now.
Such a gross condiment.
If you come to Buffalo and ask for ranch with your wings, they will run you out of town.
As they should.
Like Old West style. Yeah, it's like big time.
It's blue cheese all the way.
Yeah.
I got
It's gotta
another
be blue
question.
cheese.
I don't mind blue cheese with wings.
So in Buffalo, do they call buffalo wings? You just call them wings?
Yeah, just wings. Chicken
Like-
wings. Yeah.
Like Chinese food in China, they just call it food?
Food. Yeah.
Yeah, for
exactly.
Yeah, weird, right?
Okay. Just weird.
Yeah, and I
know what
can
I'm
attest
talking
to
about.
this. Like I've grown up all my life here, and I've been to other places and had wings in other places. It's not even. It's only loosely the same thing. Like it is not even close. Come to Buffalo, have chicken wings here. It'll change your life for sure.
I just want to point out Mikey
Certain
Lakey
places
Whiskey is in the
only.
chat, and he's a Minnesota or not a Minnesota guy, a Wisconsin guy. It says need a boatload of ranch for the cheese curds. That is such a Minnesota / Wisconsin
I
statement
love
right
cheese
there.
curds. Oh,
But
Oh,
like
yeah.
fried cheese curds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
pour some cheese curds on me. I love. Oh,
Oh my.
Yeah.
yeah.
We have just discovered one of Lauren's kinks, but anyway.
Yeah.
That aside,
Who doesn't love that?
Shredward just pointed out another thing that he's wrong about. So,
The Lord's condiment. Oh, jeez.
you know what's good on wings? Hot sauce. That's the only thing you need on wings. Stop putting other things on wings.
Right. Right.
Things on
Okay.
wheels.
So now that we've all talked about our, embarrassing handicaps and muskrat stories, we got one that's kind of a combo from Sean and Myron. And this one is kind of more in line. Last time around, we talked about your favorite
Heck
song
yes.
from the year. This one is your favorite rapper. And nobody is not an acceptable answer. You got to pick one. The only answers we will not accept is no one and Snow. All right. Anything else is on the table. So
No,
And
no
Robbie
Snow.
Van
Snow's
Winkle.
not a real rapper.
so I am not starting this one.
Also,
so let's-
Jay-Z is not an acceptable answer.
No,
yeah, he's-
no Jay-Z.
that's your favorite bitch. Rick, go.
Oh wow, you should start now with me, huh? I'm old school, so I have two categories, and I'm not going to do favorite. I'm going to go favorites.
Okay.
So number one, Run DMC. I just love the way
All
it
right.
sounded. I love the way it made me feel when I listened to it from my age group because I'm going to be 49 this year as well. And
Okay.
then I also have lyrical appreciation for Ice Cube and Eminem. And I know Eminem's not a popular choice, but when you talk about the lyrical ingenuity that both Ice Cube and Eminem have, I think it really hits, and I have a lot of appreciation for their stuff. So those are my
All right.
three for different reasons. Run DMC based on feel and kind of lyrical appreciation and how they tied their experience for where they were at to their music is kind of why I chose those two.
All right.
I like
That's
it,
a good
man.
one. I like it. Yeah. All right. How about I'm going to go in order here. Let's go Bobby next. Bobby, you're on.
What? Okay. So Run DMC, they're classic. I mean, that could be a lot of favorite people. I don't know why anyone would even say that. It's obvious. But is this on me? Sorry.
It is.
A lot of people don't even know who Run DMC is anymore, Bobby. There's people that
That's
don't
true,
know that.
man. Only because Steven Tyler's on this friggin' TV show, they know who Aerosmith is, and that collab was freaking awesome. That's what put Run DMC
Legendary.
on charts, probably.
Yep.
But so my favorite probably is anyone know who Andy Mineo is?
Nope.
Andy Mineo. You ever heard that song, that rap? Coming in hot.
Nope.
You ever heard that?
I'm coming in there.
Yeah.
That's Andy Mineo. So
Okay.
it's Andy Mineo and Lecrae actually, but Andy Mineo more, and probably NF. I like NF a lot too. They're Christian rappers actually. That's probably
Yeah,
why you never
that's
heard of
cool.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
NF. They're both Christian rappers, so that's probably I haven't heard him. But if you go to Andy Mineo, look up him on Spotify. A lot of his stuff, you probably go, oh,
Okay.
That's him.
Like, oh, I've heard that. Yeah. Okay.
A lot of that NFL stuff, NBA stuff that they use in clips. That's
Sure.
from a lot of that's from Andy Mineo.
All right. Right on.
Shane's
Lauren.
in the chat. What up, Shane?
Lauren, you're
Good
on.
pick from Shane too. Cool.
Okay, so I'm not a huge rap fan, but a group that was meaningful to me when I was a kid, I loved Dead Prez. And they like had a conscious rap ethic that
Whoa.
moved with me. Like I always have loved Dead Prez from their debut album all the way through. So
Did you say Dead Press?
Dead Prez. Dead Prez.
She is digging in the crates. Like, wow.
That's pretty good. I've never even heard of them, but you were feeling that one.
Yeah, Dead Prez is like.
Whoops. Whoa. I just removed her. Hold on. I hit the wrong thing.
Dude, that's so rude.
I gotta watch him, Lauren. Gotta watch him. Your co-host here.
You vicious bastard!
Anyway,
Brian, you heard hip hop, like
yes. Well, yes, I am aware of what hip hop is. Yes.
No.
Also,
Dead Prez hip hop. It's better than hip hop.
Okay, I'm on it. I'm gonna look it up. All right.
That's my pick.
Okay. How about hold on? Exit instead of remove. Myron. Boom. Go.
Nas.
Okay.
Illmatic.
Okay.
And then
that is the right answer.
Two of the just two of the most, when you talk about lyrics and you talk about just the flow and the beat and how he just tells a story, people who have come before Nas, people like Large Professor and I'm trying to think of I can't think of the other guy's name right now, but anyway, when you think of those people, and then they're like Nas is a combination of like pretty much all of the best lyrical rappers from the 80s. Like my hip hop time was the 90s. I was born in 1980, so my hip hop time was the 90s. But like Nas's I Am and Nas's Illmatic, oh my! And then like I was never the biggest fan of Lil Wayne until he hopped on the track with Destiny's Child. Body marked up like the subway in Harlem, call him Weezy F baby, please say the baby. I mean, once you listen to the Carter album and then you start going Carter 2, Carter 3, I mean, the dude is ridiculous. So first is Nas, second place is Lil Wayne.
Okay. All right. That's okay. Those are good ones. Let's see here. Next. Whoops. Oh my God. I keep hitting remove from the stage like an idiot here, like I'm a boomer. I probably am the oldest one here, so that's probably what the problem is. Sean, go.
So I got a whole list, and here's the order of the list that it's in. It goes Reggie, Jay-Z, Tupac, and Biggie. No, that's not the order. But I don't know if you can read that. But yeah, NES is the letters that spell. Yeah. So I'm in agreement with Myron. Nas is my number one choice, followed by M at 2, Andre 3K at 3, Tupac 4, Rakim 5, Big L 6, Cool G Rap 7, Prodigy, actually Inspector Deck from Wu-Tang Clan at 8, Prodigy from Mobb Deep at 9, DMX at 10, and actually I'd probably switch Kendrick for DMX and make DMX my 11th. But anyway.
Wow, you went deep. You went hard.
Sean went deep.
Yeah, no
Sean
shit.
went deep. And thank you, Sean, because that's who it was. It was Cool G Rap.
That's Professor what she said.
All right. And Ben.
This is when everybody unsubscribes to my channel.
Oh boy.
Insane Clown Posse. Juggalo since the 90s. No bullshit.
At least
I was at the very, very first ever gathering of the Juggalos in Detroit in the year 2000.
Marky, you shred.
One second, give me a
Stop
second.
it. You're too
At
much.
least you didn't say House of Pain. Whoa.
So here's the thing, though. Okay, so I've been an ICP fan literally since like 1996 or something like that. I can't remember what year it was.
Okay.
And I know that they kind of have like it's interesting now because they're actually starting to get. Oh yeah, they're actually starting to get more popular in the last like maybe 5-10 years. I don't really. Their newer stuff is just different for me. I guess I fall into that category of a little more old school. But one of the things, like I know ICP is kind of noted as like the world's most hated band. Everybody loves to hate on them and whatever. And I get it; it's not for everybody. But they did. It's kind of like Myron was saying. It's like when you look at like just the certain aspects of the music, and it gives you like this appreciation for it. ICP did something that. Still to this day, I don't know of any other band has ever done before, in the sense that they were a concept band. Like artists will release like a concept album where it's one story all the way through. ICP is actually a concept band where all of their albums in a row are telling one continuous story.
This is my response to Ben. If we could,
I use this clip.
Disappointed!
Dude, I use that clip in our videos.
Ben, do we want to hear the story?
So, yeah, it's actually amazing. Like, so for their first 6 albums, or their first, they had albums and they had EPs between each album, and the first 6 main albums were each a different character that was all part of this dark carnival story. And again, I'm not asking everybody to like this or appreciate it, but for me, I found it fascinating because the other thing is that the songs that they made, what they rapped about, was basically they would write horror stories, like horror movies, and they would rap about that. And I'm a huge horror movie fan. So for me, that was like, it took rap in a completely different like genre, and it was just something I totally vibed with. Before that, I would go Beastie Boys, Run DMC all day long. Ice Cube, Snoop, Dre, The Chronic.
If you had said Beastie Boys, I wouldn't given you any shit, Ben.
Beastie Boys was the first concert I ever went to.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
But so check this
We
out.
don't like conscious rap. Come on, guys.
So the first time I ever heard ICP, I was at a party and I heard it in the background. And I heard it, and I thought they were saying something different, but I just thought it was a catchy song. And my friend happened to own that album, and he brought it over to my house. He's like, yeah, here, you can borrow it. And I listened to that song, and it was just like, I have never heard anything like this in my life, and I need more of this directly into my veins. So check this out. So when we get off the stream here, again, I'm not asking you to like this, but go on whatever streaming service you have and look up the song Headless Boogie by Insane Clown Posse. It's off the album Riddlebox, one of my all-time favorite albums. Headless Boogie by Insane Clown Posse. Yeah, check it out. And seriously, listen to the lyrics of that song and tell me you've ever heard another song like anything like that.
Really, Shred, a white dude from Minnesota? You think so?
Nail in the white. He is nail.
I'll make it quick.
No one said Kanye?
No, come on. Mine is Beastie Boys, and then a little known duo from Toronto called the Dream Warriors that when I was like in high school, college, were freaking awesome. So those are mine. All right.
Brian, if we could, before we move off the topic, I have to throw this. I know some folks may be aware, but Melly Mel put out maybe the greatest diss track of all time in the last week or so. It's the most fabulous thing you'll ever hear. I promise. Let's if you don't mind sharing. This is.
I've never heard it.
It's my favorite thing now.
All right, let's do it.
Who is
there
this?
We go.
Melly Mel?
Melly Mel tried to diss Eminem, which that in itself is hilarious. But anyway, here we
Okay.
Wow.
Oh,
He
that's
used
bad.
Pee Wee Herman. He used Pee Wee
Yes, I
Herman to
know.
diss him. He
That's
went
Oh
hard
my
in the paint.
god, it's so good. It's
Yes,
so
I
good.
know.
Melly Mel
Like-
going hard in the paint.
Like the
I
guy's
don't- I don't-
going
I
after.
don't
I
know.
mean, you know, a lot of people have different opinions on Eminem, but one thing's for sure. I mean, if you go back and listen to old M, like for instance, "Nail in the Coffin" or "The Sauce" when he was dissing Benzino, those songs those are some serious diss tracks, like legendary. And this guy comes with this bull crap. He's like trying to like make like a club hit for like 70s disco era or like a roller rink. Like for a second, I thought he was gonna go jump. Would you? All right, people. Millie Mel, I got the beat to help you move your fucking feet or some shit. I was like, what the hell is about to happen right now?
It's like
I
the
don't know if
first
you
rap
guys
ever.
Saw the comment that said, Chris Jenkins said, "I'm glad." What did he say? "Be Rad from Malibu." Now look,
You
I
rad
love
from the
that
boo?
movie.
You rad from the
That is
boo?
a funny ass movie. When you watch Up in the Boo, y'all.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
Malibu's Most Wanted. My wife, she gets on me because I'm always talking about her. She watches movies over and over, but that is a movie that I can watch over and over and over, man.
How about
What
Byron
movie
said
is
he's
it?
my number 3?
That's right. He is. Be Rad.
There you
That's
go.
awesome.
And in fact,
Whiskey.
it was embarrassing. Yeah, I can't believe that Melly Mel thought that was like a serious diss and put that out there for the world to hear. That's epic. I love it so much.
And
Rage
I
Against
I'd
the
like to say,
Machine.
I would say Rage Against the Machine, but I don't really know if they're rapper or not. It's like rap metal. I don't know,
Yeah.
man. I love Rage Against the Machine too.
I love Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah,
It's
get
good workout
thrown in,
music.
they get thrown in
It's
the new
great
metal
workout.
category usually, but yeah.
There is rap rock. Yeah, that is a category. Rap
Yeah,
rock.
rap rock. Well,
Yeah.
then we're going. Then I gotta say Limp Bizkit. Ah!
Ugh.
Oh boy.
I
The
know I
worst.
hit a nerve with people.
The absolute. Do you remember though? So speaking of, like, this is obviously way before Limp Bizkit, but do you remember that Judgment Night soundtrack? That was like
Hell
the metal bands
yes!
and the rappers,
Dude,
Okay.
that album was a
And it-
banger.
and it was like
Total
nothing
banger.
we'd ever heard before. It was like, holy shit! It was awesome.
That's because every song on that album was a compilation. They had a rock band and a rap group
Yep.
or a
Yeah.
rapper, and every song was an original song for that album. Absolute banger of an album.
insane.
Dude, me, myself, and my microphone, Run DMC, and who is it? I can't remember who it is on with them. And they had Onyx and Biohazard. Oh, dude, that album's a banger.
Like nothing we had ever heard at that time, and just like
Absolutely.
all those bands like Limp Bizkit and maybe even Rage Against the Machine, like those bands, like that Judgment Night soundtrack was doing that shit way before any of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a great movie too, by the way.
Yeah. What's his name? Dennis Leary. I love Dennis Leary.
Yeah, awesome movie.
Anyone that wants to be entertained after the stream, just go watch No Life Shack's reaction to Melly Mel's diss
No
track.
Life Shack's
It's a great time. It'll make you smile.
Public Enemy
man.
shits all over most too. Best group in rap history. Chuck D is a genius. They were pretty good.
Hey, have any of you guys heard? Damn it! Now, hang on a second.
I was just gonna say,
Continue
Bobby
on.
put on his fire captain hat to put out the fire of all these takes that we're taking.
Right. Hot takes all over the place. That's why the people come.
There we go.
Look, when Bobby shows up, the fire runs.
Yeah, there we go.
Or he'll freaking roundhouse them.
The fire puts
Roundhouse
itself
them
out.
like that dude. Yep.
I got to say, Ben, I did not think that ICP would come up in this conversation, but I actually remember that you had mentioned this before, so I just forgotten about it. Maybe I was trying to put it out of my memory bank or something.
All right.
Oh, dude, I can go even deeper on this.
That's what she said.
But yeah, we won't get into it. Bobby, since you like Rage Against,
I did not think they qualified.
they totally qualify. Bobby, since you like Rage Against the Machine, have you ever heard Prophets of Rage before?
I have, yeah.
Yeah. It's the band from Rage Against the Machine, and then it's Be Real from Cypress Hill and Chuck D.
Cypress Hill, yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
Actually,
banger.
my buddies turned
Yeah.
me onto that a couple years ago.
Yeah, there's like the song "Unfuck the World" and "Living on the 110." Those two in particular. Prophets of Rage. Check that out.
Prophets of Rage. Yeah.
All right. Who's ready for some rapid fire?
I'm ready.
I am, because I got to wrap this up.
Yeah,
That's
for
what
real,
she
for
said.
real.
That's what she
Okay.
Hey, look, you better wrap it up, Bobby. We don't want a syphilis clap talk like your live stream had, all right? With gonorrhea, syphilis, and clap. I was like, what the hell did I tune into?
Yeah, for those of you that missed the live stream on the Bourbon Note tonight, we talked a lot about the clap and syphilis and herpes.
There was a lot of STD talk, herpes, monkey, or whatever. Yeah, no.
I missed that. Jeez,
Koala clap.
Dang it.
All right.
That's no joke.
So I'll start because Ben, I did not have a rapid fire question until I heard you say you're a huge horror movie fan. So best horror movie, Rick, go.
Oh.
What was that? Best horror movie?
Yep.
Oh God. Saw, The Achilles. I can't do it. That's it.
It's
Saw.
Saw. Okay.
The Achilles
Bobby,
did
go.
it.
I'm going the original The Thing with Kurt Russell.
Okay. Good one. Lauren, go.
It's called High Tension. It's a French film, and it is
Holy
fucking
shit.
brutal.
It is 100%. Great pick. Sean.
What's it? High Tension?
Mrs. Banks
High
comes
tension.
out and sees me with this helmet on and just laughs at me.
I love
What do you got?
Psychopaths, so I'm gonna have to go with 7.
Okay. Ben.
Great.
Original Evil Dead, 1981.
All right. Myron.
I'm gonna have to say, well, it was gonna be the one, I can't remember the name, but the guy dies on the fence at the end. That scared the shit out of me. But back when I thought the Blair Witch Project was real, it was the Blair Witch Project.
Yeah. Dude,
I
Blair
freaking
Witch was
ran
the
to
shit
my
when
car.
that came out.
Yeah.
I ran to my car after watching the Blair Witch Project in the dark parking lot. It was it was scary as hell. I'm going
For
Phantasm.
sure.
Phantasm. scary as shit.
Phantasm, wow. Is that like an old school? Is that like a Dario Argento or something like that?
Yeah,
Is that
I'm
the one
always
he
afraid.
died on the fence at the end?
Yeah,
I'm
no,
thinking
at
of,
the end, the kid gets grabbed through
Suspiria.
the mirror at the end. Like he sees the old.
What has happened to Bobby?
What in the heck?
Bobby's
He's
like,
ready.
you have
He's
27
consuming
seconds,
wild
bitches.
turkey. He just-
That's for the serious heat right there.
Yeah,
Right,
you
it's
got
date
it.
night. It's date night.
I also want to say we gotta throw The Shining into the horror movie
Oh, great
category
one,
as well.
great
So Evil Dead and The Shining, my two favorites.
Yeah, my
Rick, you got a
second
rapid
would
fire
be.
question?
Oh yeah, right.
Go ahead, Sean.
I was gonna say my second. I'd have to throw Silence of the Lambs in there. Yeah, I love that movie so much.
Yeah, that's a good one. Rick, rapid fire question. You got one?
Yeah, of course.
Let's go.
Ford, Chevy, or Ram, or something plastic. What would you drive?
Would something
Ram.
plastic be a Toyota
Ram.
then? Is that what we're?
I'll go Chevy. Bobby, what about you?
What was the question again? Rick?
Ford, Chevy, or Ram?
Chevy or Chevy? No, Chevy, Ford, Ram, or something plastic. What would you drive?
Oh, dude, I love the old classic AC Cobra, dude. That's what I love. Love the AC
Ram.
Cobras.
It's a pickup truck question. Come on, bro. You're killing me.
You said Ford, Chevy, or Ram, or something classic.
All right, fair
Did
enough.
you say that?
I believe he's saying plastic.
Yeah,
Plastic,
I did say
yeah.
plastic. When
Oh,
I said
plastic.
Ram,
I can't
thought
hear
it was
you with this
truck.
thing on. I'll go Ford. I'm a Ford
Okay.
guy. I'll go Ford.
Oh,
I'm going Ford.
that's a terrible
Okay.
choice.
Or you
Ford
said
Ranger,
Ram?
like full
Yeah,
size
I
Ranger.
said Ram.
Okay.
Sean, what do you say?
I mean, if you're going to invest $70,000 into a truck, you should probably get something that lasts. I'm going to go Toyota.
Sean calls the audible. Ben, go.
F-150.
Oh, that's
Okay.
two of you.
Ford. Myron.
Come on, Myron.
Always been a Chevy man. Got to go with the Chevy. Bobby, love the Lost in Space fireman / marshal.
There you go. Yeah.
Bobby, what do you got for us? Rapid fire. Go.
Should WNBA players make as much as NBA players?
No.
Absolutely.
Bobby, What is so funny about that is I almost went with a WNBA question myself.
I was going to say pro athletes, but I said I was specific because we all know the real answer.
Let me shorten this up. Does anybody want to answer yes?
No.
All right,
I
Lauren,
would
rapid
say-
fire, go.
I'm the only woman here, but I will say that ads pay for shit. So if that's what's going to get you your ad dollars and it's not the female players, I'm sad about it, but I'll accept it.
I will just say, if it's worth watching, you watch it. It's not worth watching. It doesn't matter if it's men or women. It's crap.
Fun fact: the WNBA has been a losing brand since its inception, and the NBA has kept it going the entire time.
Exactly.
Okay, wait, can I ask you
subsidized
guys
by the
real quick,
NBA.
do any of you guys have daughters?
That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. I have a niece I'm pretty close with. That doesn't really count.
I have a daughter, and if she decided she wanted to play in the WNBA, I'd tell her that is a huge mistake.
There's a women's player in college right now that's if she goes in WNBA, she's going to lose money.
If you you have a daughter and you're okay with telling her, like, look at, you're not going to earn the amount of money, you're not going to earn the prestige.
Yep.
I think it's okay to be. That's fine. Like men and women are different. Like we all have different strengths.
I like when Jim Rome used to call it the horse races. Sean.
Okay.
Rapid fire, Sean. Go.
All right. Is Madam Web the greatest comic book based movie ever made?
No.
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 What the fuck are you talking about, man?
Okay, it's a no. It's the biggest bust that Marvel has put out so far.
Yes, for those that aren't in the know, this is a Sony Pictures movie that's based on a comic book, and it set a record for the lowest opening box office ever of a comic book movie.
Yeah, because it put the lowest vibe personality that you could put into a human being.
Yes.
Into that
Dakota
role.
Johnson. But if you put Sydney
energy
Sweeney
human.
on the screen for 2 hours, people would go watch.
I mean, thank God she's a smoke show, or else there'd be just nothing going for her.
Kidding.
Honestly, neither of them have anything.
Exactly, Mark Emmenecker. Never heard of it.
So I'm gonna just jump in. Melissa R. The Whiskey Six is these 6 channels you see here. It's these 5 channels. Rick is our special guest who makes our 6th channel. So we are the Whiskey Six. Welcome. Please make sure you subscribe. Ben, do you have a rapid fire question?
Metallica for the next halftime show, yes or no?
Oh, absolutely.
No.
Oh shit. Sorry.
Yes,
Just
for
go ahead and
half.
throw your answer.
Yes, for half, not for Cole. He needs to. They're gonna. What's gonna have to happen is they're gonna have to merge. Metallica will have to merge with what I will say like is a Miley Cyrus type.
Okay, so like share the thing. Okay.
Yeah. And
Gotcha.
honestly, Miley Cyrus is a fantastic vocalist. Like
My wife fell in
it
love
would
with
be
Miley
okay
Cyrus
for
on the
her to
Grammys.
sing a Metallica
How
song.
much you been drinking?
She did great with Jolene.
Have you guys heard?
Oh hell yeah, she did.
Miley Cyrus nothing without a wrecking ball.
Done Metallica.
And her dad.
Let her
piano
fuck
or
that wrecking
violin.
ball.
Wow.
Ben, as you know, I am a huge Metallica fan. Unfortunately, to Lauren's point, I don't want to see like a Metallica mashup with like 20 different artists.
No.
That would be gross to me.
Well, that
They don't
would-
have-
that
I didn't
would
say
be what it
mashup.
would
I
be
said
at the
Metallica.
Super Bowl.
Hour and 20-minute blistering halftime set.
Yeah,
Boom.
That's what it would be.
The thing is, though, if
All
they're gonna
deep tracks.
if they're gonna do that, I need like James drinking again and Lars back on coke, and then we'll have a good show.
Well, here you go. I'm going to go ahead and say yes, and I will say it's either next year or the year after. Super Bowl is back in Santa Clara, right? Or San Francisco.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's where they're from, right around that area.
Home
Have
show.
them be the halftime show right there. That'd be sweet.
Myron, Metallica halftime show, yes or no?
Honestly, really
He
never
doesn't.
listened to him.
He doesn't care.
That hurts
He
me,
doesn't
Myron,
give
but
a
okay.
shit
I'll
about
That'd be better than
Metallica.
that. That Usher show was a
Myron,
was
do you
not
have a
good.
rapid fire
I
question
thought
for us,
Usher
sir?
was fantastic.
Yeah, since
I like
Usher
Usher. That was boring.
Hold up. Go ahead, Myron.
Since ranch is not a condiment, chunky blue cheese or regular blue cheese?
Oh, chunky.
All day long, baby.
I'll take either.
I already answered this question earlier. The only thing that goes on buffalo wings is hot sauce.
Okay, all right. And we know Ben's answer is ranch.
Well, I don't mind blue cheese. I'm ranch first, but I think since I'm kind of a novice, blue cheese, I would go regular. I feel like the chunky is kind of the cask strength version, and I'm not there yet.
Okay, fair enough. Rick, what say you, sir?
Barbecue sauce.
Oh, it wasn't a choice, brother.
That was it. No blue cheese. Blue cheese stinks for me.
So I gotta. So question, Rick. So are you dipping like standard buffalo style, like hot spicy wings in barbecue? Is that the way you're going? Okay, all right. I just wanted to clarify.
Yep.
He's a guest. He's a guest. We'll have somebody else next week.
Chunky blue cheese. I love the super chunks of blue cheese, man. I love that stuff.
Me too.
Yeah, me too.
I'm in that.
I mean, I feel like Myron did give us a perfect segue, and that is that we absolutely will have somebody new next week.
We will.
That said,
next month.
Rick has been a fantastic guest, I think.
Absolutely fantastic, Rick.
Yeah.
So, listen, folks, it's about that time. We're hitting, I don't even have our clock here anymore. But we've been on for a while. So, a couple of things. First of all, every single one of these channels here, Whiskey Wars, Bourbon Note, Bourbon Drop, Dirty RC Bar, Bourbon School, and Bad Axe Bourbon. Make sure you go give every single one of these channels a sub and give the Whiskey 6 a sub too, so you never miss out on our live streams here. And we appreciate every single one of you. We're up close to about 40 tonight, guys. So we had pretty good audience tonight.
Yeah.
And
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, all you folks.
Every single one. Yes. Thank you so much.
Along with this experiment.
Rick, what do you got coming up, brother?
You know, I just was able to finally get an RC6 Maker's Mark, the 2019, to complete my Woodfin series collection. And so now that I have every bottle, I want to do a live stream or a review. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a live or a review on the whole series. Everybody's really cheating the BEP, saying that's a spoiler alert, but I've got a different feeling, so I can't wait to go through it and share it.
All right. We'll look forward to that. So make sure you subscribe to Dirty RC Bar so you guys can make sure you catch those videos and all of Rick's reviews. Rick, thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Thanks for having me. Good time.
Chat and audience, thank you all so much. All you, my friends on the panel, thank you guys for being on tonight. This was an absolute blast. Make sure you subscribe, like, and there was something else. Oh, next stream is going to be is it March 20th, guys? Hold on, let me see.
20th, 21st. I
feels
thought
roughly right.
Yeah.
March 20th. So our next stream is going to be March 20th at 9 p.m. right on this channel. And our guests, I think, are going to be Troy and Laura for Baker Drinks. So
cool.
Make sure you tune in for that. It just feels right, doesn't it, guys?
Yeah, it does. It feels right.
Absolutely.
Yes,
so we hope to see you all then on March 20th. Thank you all for tuning in. And until March 20th, cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
Thanks for joining,
Great
Rick.
night, y'all.
Bye-bye.
Take care.